Welcome to another tutorial for Mathematica. Today what we're going to look is about vectors and how Mathematica can help us in solving vector equations. So for that, I'm just going to write the first step, which is like these are the basic stuff. So I'm not going in detail into vectors since I believe you all might already know it. So I'm just going to write I equal to 1 comma 0 comma 0 and j equal 0 comma 1 comma 0, and in case if you have k value, k is going to be 0 comma 0 comma 1. So it's just like for your understanding, I is always the first term, and then 0 0 is because this is I, j and k, so that's how it goes. So I've just written down the identity metrics over here. So once that is done, I'm just going to press Shift Enter. So these are my three ijk values. And now I have two vector equations, where I'm just going to define as 1i plus 2j and v2 equal to 3i plus 4j. So now, if we want to find, so right now I have defined my two equations. So let's put this. So these are my two equations. I do not have a k value, so that's why it's 0. So once that's done, I just want to show you what dot product is. So before going into the command or the easy way how to solve using Mathematica, I just want to refresh your memory on this. So what is v1 dot v2 give like just through our knowledge? So what we're going to do is we're going to, in dot product, we're going to club the I terms together and multiply it, and club the j terms together, multiply it, and club the k terms together, multiply it, and then you sum it up all. So I believe you guys didn't get a word what I said, so I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to club the I values. So I into 3. So I've taken 1 and 3 because both are in I, and I into I it's supposed to be 1 plus in 2 into 4. 2 into 4. So that's my j values, and since k I do not have any k value, it's supposed to be 0. Now when I solve this, my answer is supposed to be 3 plus 8, which gives 11. Alright, so now we're gonna cross check if our answer is correct or wrong. So for that, there is two ways in which how you can do the dot product in Mathematica. Step 1, is v1 dot v2, and as simple as that, shift enter, you get your answer 11. See, it's similar to what we calculated. The second step, another step that we can do is using a command called dot. You open square brackets and then v1 comma v2 and close the square brackets. So once you press shift enter, there you go, you get your next answer, again 11. So now I want you all to solve this problem. So find dot product of v3 comma v4. So I have given you two equations, v3 equal to 2i plus 5j plus 6k, and v4 equal to 4i plus 9j plus 7k. So I want you all to try it by yourself. So pause the video and solve it. So to solve this, first step is I need to define my ijk over here. Alright, so I define my ijk, shift enter, just to make sure that after every step you press shift enter so that you don't miss out any error and then get confused. So I have my I value here, j value, and k value. They all are in the matrix form. So the next step is I need these two equations here. Alright, that's simple. And I'm just gonna press shift enter. So yes, I have my 256 and 497. Alright, cool. And then I'm gonna assign to v1 dot, oh, sorry, v3 dot v4, shift enter 95. I hope you all got the same answer. If you all didn't get it, if you all didn't get it, make sure that you define the I terms, J and K terms first, and then you put the vector equations and then shift enter. So if in any case you missed out any of these steps, you wouldn't get your answer, or if you use uh, dot v3 comma v4 shift enter, this is 95. Both the answers is correct, so choose either way, whichever you're comfortable with. And moving on, let's go on to finding cross products. So in cross products, I believe you all are familiar with it, but still, just to again refresh, just like what we did in dot product, I just have written down like two equations, two vector equations: u equal to ai plus b j plus ck, and vector equation 2, v is equal to di plus ej plus fk. So right now, if I do the cross products, I'm gonna put this in matrix form, just to give you an idea about it. So I, J, K, I've written down these three notations over here, and then so under I there is in equation number 1 it is A, under J it's B, under K it is C, and for the equation number 2 under I it's a D, and under J it's E, and under K it's F. So how do we solve this? In order to solve this one, I've just written down an equation over here. So this is the formula. So for example, now if when you're taking I, you eliminate these A, D, and J, K. So you're only taking these two rows and these two columns. So that is what when I'm taking I into BF minus EC, and then when you're taking the J terms, it's going to be AF minus DC. That's what is written over here. So just make sure that whenever you take the J term over here, there is always a minus before. So it's plus, minus, plus. So, and when you put the K term, it's going to be A, B, D, E. So that is AE minus BD. So this is what you get from a cross product of two vector equations. So in order to just keeping this formula in mind, I'm going to write two equations. For example, let's take this v1 and v2 equation. Yeah. So let's take v1, that is 1 comma 2 0, that is over here. I'll just copy it just for our understanding. All right. All right. So v1 is 1i plus 2j, and v2 is 3i plus 4j. So I press shift enter. That's my equation. So how do we do cross products? So in terms of cross products, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a value w equal. So there is a command called cross. So you just open your square brackets, type in v1 comma v2, close the square brackets, shift enter. So this is your answer. You can apply this formula over here. So your I value is 0, J value is 0, and your K value is minus 2. So this is how you do a cross product. Now I'm going to give you another problem. So I have this one problem for you to make sure that you guys understood the concept. So there is two equations, vector equations over here: 2i plus 3j plus it's 5k, and q is equal to 3i plus 8j plus 9k. Now pause the video, try to solve it by yourself. So it's pretty simple. All I'm gonna do is copy paste these equation over here. Like always, I said, like assign your ijk values. So I'm just putting it in case we forgot to put it over there, and then shift enter. Now to find the cross product, like maybe an r equal cross p comma q, shift enter. So this is your answer: minus 13i, minus 3k, 3j, and 7k. So please cross check with your answers, and if you've got it, please go ahead to the next topic. And here is problem number 2. I have randomly just cooked up some random problem. And so I'm just saying there's a position vector of 3, 4, an object is at a position 3, 4, 6, and a force of 0, 12, 0, and it's applied, find the moment acting on that particular point. So I want you all to pause the video and try to solve it, and also find the length of the position. So I'm just giving you some clues over here. So for position, this is 3i, 4j, 6k, and so that's one clue. And then this is another clue over here, right over here, position cross force, and then also find the length of the position. For example, d is the length, and so d is equal to root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. So it's basically I squared plus 4 squared plus 6 squared. So this is an example. So just try to pause the video. So my first step is I'm gonna write my ijk value. So alright, so j is 0, 1, 0, and k is 0, 0, 1. So I have defined all these. Oh, oops, sorry, my bad. So I've defined all these three ijk, and now my next step is to define these position and force. So for position, I'm going to write as position itself. Position equal to, that's 3i plus 4j plus 6k, and my force is going to be either you can write 0i plus 12j plus 0k, or you can just write it as 12j. So now my next is to find the moment. So for moment, the solution over here is like so for moment, I have given you a clue saying position cross force, if you guys have heard it. So I'm just going to write cross. I'm going to add the cross command, and then I'm going to add the position, comma, force. So this is the answer, minus 72,036. Now, it's not over yet. Now they're asking for length of position. So length of position equal. So as you know, like it's square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. So I'm going to write square root. This is the command for square root. Or you can just go to the palettes and open it and do the hard way, or you can use the command directly. Square root, open square bracket, and in the square bracket, if I write dot of position, comma, position, and close the bracket, if I write it in this way, do you think my answer is correct? So all I'm saying is I have a position 3, 4, 6. So I'm just multiplying to find the length of a position. I'm just like finding square root of dot position, comma, position. And shift enter. I'm getting root of 61. So if you got this answer, it's correct. So this is just an example. Yeah, this is just an example. So I'm going to explain to you why I use the dot product over here. For example, right now I said like 0 square plus 12 square plus 0 square. So I want the length of position. So for example, what is the position vector over here? It's 3, 4, 6. So 3 square plus 4 square plus 6 square. So 3 square is 9, plus 16 is 25, 25 plus 36 is root of 61. So that is the main reason why I use square root of dot, position, comma, position. So I hope you understood this tutorial. So if you didn't understand, please go back and try to do it all over again and see what are the errors. Thank you all for tuning into today's tutorial. So some common errors in the vectors can be some common errors in vectors can be like one, missing to assign I, j, k values. So I'm going to show you what happens when you don't assign I, j, k values. So for example, I have two equations, v1 is equal to 1i plus 2j and v2 equal 3i plus 4j. So now if I press shift enter, I have the two equations, and if I do v1 dot v2, because this is the dot product, shift enter, I am not getting any values. So the main error is that I haven't assigned the ijk value. So for example, if I assign ijk values, that is 1, 0, 0 and j equal 0, 1, 1, 0 and k equal 0, 0, 1. Alright, shift enter. Now if I try v1 dot v2, let's see if I'm getting answer. Yes, it's 11. So that is one of the main mistake that we might miss out, like we forget to assign this ijk value. So please don't forget that. So the second common error is the first letter of any function should be capital letters. So if you do not put capital letters, what happens, I will just show you. So for example, I want to put v1, okay, I want to put a equal v1, okay, cross, oh, I'm just going to put cross v1 comma v2, shift enter. I'm getting some kind of a weird answer. I'm not getting it correct. So for example, I'm just going to rewrite b equal to capital C R O S S and then v1 comma v2, shift enter. I'm getting the correct value 0, 0 and -2. So make sure your first letter for any command is or any function is always capital letters. So the third common error is confusing the dot product or cross product with the multiplication symbol or x symbol, because we know cross is like kind of an X, and dot product, it can symbolize it similar to multiplication, but make sure you guys don't mess it up. So for example, what happens if we put v1 multiplication v2, we would get the answer, but it is totally different from v1 dot v2, which is 11. So make sure if you're expecting some scalar quantity when you're doing dot product, make sure you're getting some single a value rather than like in a matrix form. Then a common mistake which I have personally done many times is instead of while just for dot product, I'm just putting it a dot over here, so thinking we cross as like in X, I put it and v2, shift enter, I get something wrong because this will create itself as a variable, as one variable. So even if you put space in between, still it's not, it won't give you, it's just like won't give you a correct answer. So for the correct answer you need, oops. So for correct cross product, you always have to have cross open the square bracket v1 comma v2. So this is the third error that we often get confused with the dot products and the multiplication and the cross product with an x. So please make sure you guys don't do that. So the next error is using the wrong brackets. For example, I type cross curly brackets v1 comma v2 and I close it. I would get something weird answer. So make sure your cross is square brackets. So that's a common one. That's a for any functions you use square brackets, and then v2 close the square bracket, you get your answer again. So make sure that you're using your correct brackets over there. The next common error can be confusing ourselves with a dot a as the dot product as a squared. So I just want to show you how different the answer would be. So we know for example, we know v1 dot v1 is going to give you 5, all right? But if you do v1 the whole square, we're going to get a totally different answer, all right? So make sure that you don't confuse like a dot a as a square. So the next common error is using the wrong punctuation marks. What do you mean by that? So for example, I'm using cross product of v1 colon v2. Let's see what our answer is. So it's not correct. Or if I'm going to use v1 cross v1 semicolon v2, I'm again getting some argument error. So the correct is, make sure you use v1 comma v2 to get the right answer. So make sure all this is make sure you're using the correct punctuation mark.